Hey everybody, you want to add some communications to your preparedness plans? Check out this radio. Today we're looking at the Retekess TR618 AM/FM shortwave radio. Alright everybody, welcome back. So this couldn't have come at a more perfect time. Retekess was nice enough to send this along, and I have been testing it out for the past few days. And I have a radio that's in my back screened-in porch room area there, whatever you'd call it. It's just been out there forever. Now, it is an Eton. It was a good AM/FM shortwave radio. It is a larger one, but it is just beat to heck. I mean, the years of it being out there with the sand and the desert and the sun and the heat have just, I mean, the thing, you turn it on, it's all scratchy. The knobs are all a mess. So I needed to replace it. And this is a perfect way to do it. Now, I've stressed over the years the importance of having some kind of communications. Communications doesn't mean you're transmitting all the time. Sometimes it's just a matter of listening to what's going on from public information. And that's why it's very important, I feel, to have an AM/FM radio. And also, maybe the ability to have shortwave, say if you want to listen to information from out of the country during some kind of nationwide disaster. If we're down for some kind of EMP or something like that, and another country is transmitting, you can hear it on shortwave. So it's kind of a handy thing to have. Now this one here, this is not a super expensive radio, but it's also not dirt cheap either. It runs about $49.99, so you figure about 50 bucks. I will put a link down below where you can pick one up. It's an AM/FM portable. The band ranges are 87 to 108 megahertz on FM, 520 to 1710 kilohertz on AM, and 6 to 18 megahertz on shortwave. So it has a good chunk of the shortwave band in there, especially from the 49 meters and up. It is a good part of where you'll hear shortwave broadcasts. It does not have sideband on it, so you can't listen to ham radio or anything like that. You'll hear it, but it'll be kind of garbled and you won't be able to understand it on any of the areas where the bands are. The most you're going to get out is a 20 meter band, and you really won't hear much. So, you know, if you're looking for something to monitor a ham radio, maybe you want to go in a different direction. But for just listening to shortwave, this is an awesome little deal. It does support, and this is kind of neat because I'm seeing a lot of this now, it does support the transflash and SD cards and USB discs. So you can store music on the cards and listen to it. You can do books on tape, stuff like that too. I will show you how that works in a second here. I also have the USB disc propping this up here. Along the side here is your plug for your USB. That can be for an external drive to play music, books on tape, whatever. As long as they're in the MP3 format, they will play. You have an SD card slot here and a micro SD card. So, if you want to, either one, either the SD card or the micro will work. Now, unfortunately, due to me being in video, these are all huge. These are 128 gig cards. So they don't work with this. I will give you the maximum on that. I believe the maximum TF or SD card or USB disc. For the TF card and the SD card is 32 gigs. For the USB disc, it's 64 gigs. That's a 128 gig card. So it's not going to play anything because it's too big. But that's cool too because you can get like a 1 or 2 gig card for free. Heck, I picked this thing up at the SHOT Show when they had their information on it. Stored their information, cleared the disk, and now I use it for storage. So it will fit in the side there. Really easy to do. Pop it on in there. And there you go. You have your music, books on tape, whatever you want to store. It does not record. It just plays it back, so you can't play it back that way. Now, you do have options on the front here. If you want to listen to your radio, you'll turn it this way. And if you want to listen to the USB, you'll turn it that way. Your selector over here will let you do the FM, AM, or shortwave. FM, AM, or shortwave. Real simple, positive clicks, nice tactile feel to it. This is your volume and your on and off switch right there. It is on USB right now, so that's why that says hi-fi. This is only for your information on the information on the side here for your cards or your USB discs. You got a previous and next, to play, a pause, and a repeat. So if you hear a song and you want to play it again, you hit repeat. If you want to move to the next one, next or previous, and you're playing pause, once you get your discs in there, you hit that and go. This is not a readout for display for this. This is all analog up top here. For the radio, we're going to take a listen to the FM band here. Hopefully I have it on some talk, so I don't get a copyright strike. Okay, that's NPR. I know that's safe. You can hear it sounds pretty good. We're going to try it out on AM and a little bit on the shortwave to see if we can hear anything. Now this does run on 3D batteries. Kind of batteries we don't see much anymore. We don't really use D batteries that much. But it also has a plug. So it comes with a power plug for AC. You got your AC adapter plug on the side there. So if this is going to be in a fixed location, you're going to plug it in. That's awesome. But if the power goes out, you still have the option of having D batteries. And these are horribly cheap D batteries. I just threw them in there for the video. So let's pop it on the AM band and see what I can find. All right, you're going to hear a lot of noise from my lights in here, but this is actually pulling this in better than my Sanjean radio over there that I keep for listening. This is the only AM station we can receive out here, and they recently reduced their power. So you can hear it's not bad. It's pulling it in pretty well compared to other radios that I use out here. Now that hissing and noise you hear is from the fluorescent lights around here, so that's not that bad. Let's see if I can find anything on shortwave. Now I had to bring it outside because the interference from my lights is just too much on the shortwave bands. But I found something here, some kind of religious music or something. So it does work. Works pretty well. We're going to tune around a little bit. Let's see if I can hear WWV. Time signal. Nothing else really, just that one frequency that's active right now, but not bad. I mean, it's early in the morning, and these higher up bands won't get active till later. The tuning is very sensitive, so you have to go very slowly, and it's very accurate too. It doesn't feel like it's going to, fade in or off. It's very, very accurate tuning. Very easy to tune up. There isn't much on the bands right now, but you did get to hear a little bit of it there on that religious frequency. I'm not sure what that was. It was around 10 megahertz. So, all in all, not a bad deal. Let's bring it inside. I'll give you some more information. Just a side note, I clipped the antenna that I have on here. I don't know if you can see the antenna clip here. I'm getting some Russian station on that same area where they were playing religious music before. Let's go without the clip. Can't even hear it. So I wanted to test it out with the antenna that I have strung around top of my room here, and it sounds pretty good. Alright, back on the table. So as you can tell, it does pull in the shortwave signals. It probably would be a good idea to use some kind of wire or external antenna. Again, I didn't really tune around all that difficult and hunt down stuff, but as you can tell, it does work with an external antenna clipped to this. There is no jack for an external antenna, so that's all you got. So an alligator clip with a wire connected to it, put up over a chandelier or something in your living room, will pull in shortwave stations a whole lot better than that tiny little antenna on the top. So let's get to the dimensions. It's 9.64 inches by 4.3 by 6.9. The item weight is 1.9 pounds. It is a well-made radio. You do have the handle here for carrying it from room to room. Definitely a cool little thing. I would consider this more of a fixed location radio. Definitely not something for a bug-out bag or a car kit or whatever. It's a little bit larger, but it's not huge. I mean, you can see the size of my hand. It's not a huge radio, but if you're looking for something a little higher quality, I use mine outside all the time on that back patio, and something like this is really handy. I've also been known during, power outages locally in town to bring it inside, turn it on, and listen to what's going on at the local FM station here if they know what's going on. So it's definitely a handy thing to have for emergencies. And again, as I said in the intro, communications isn't always about talking to someone. Sometimes it's a whole lot more about listening. And this kind of a device will allow you to do that. Listen to your AM/FM shortwave. And it's well made. It's a nice little radio, all in all. So I'm definitely pleased with it. I've done a lot of reviews for Retekess gear in the past. Never had any problems with their ham radios, their AM/FM shortwave radios. All in all, I'm impressed with them. They do a good job. I would put this up there with like a C. Crane type radio. It's made that well. It has some, some weight to it. Doesn't feel cheap or junky. Doesn't feel it's going to fall apart. So definitely a cool little radio. So if you're interested in getting some kind of radio for your home or your bug out location, if you have a cabin or whatever somewhere, this would be the way to go with it. Definitely a cool radio. Definitely well made. And the sound quality on it, as you heard, is really, really nice. It's not bad sound quality at all. The little tiny speaker definitely has some boost to it. It's definitely a good sounding radio. So that is the Retekess TR618. It is an AM/FM shortwave radio. Like I said, I will put a link down below in the description. You can check it out there and see if you're interested. I'll also have it in my Amazon affiliate store. If you're interested in purchasing anything, that will be down below as well. And if you're interested in getting started in some freeze-dried foods, check out my Thrive Life link down below. It's a good way to kind of pace yourself slowly and get started putting a few things away a little at a time. You don't need to join anything to become to shop on that site. You can become a distributor, a consultant, and you can make some money, and there are some perks. You can save some money as well, but you don't have to do that. And that's one of the things I like about Thrive Life. I've never been a person that likes pushing memberships on people. So if you just want to go on there, purchase a few things, try it out, see if you like it. It's really good food, and it's an awesome way to get started. Don't forget our link down below for our Olight as well, our Olight flashlights. We have sales coming up, so check them out. And I thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.